Ready?
Call meeting to order, and all rise, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll make a motion to approve the minutes as printed August 4th, August 5th, selectmen's meeting. Second. All in favor? I'll make a motion to approve the select board workshop, playground development, long-term sustainability as written. All in favor? ADA, we don't have an ADA update, we're awaiting, the contractors.
You saw that?
That was quick, baby. Yeah, quick hands tonight.
Don't you have like a bell press thinking?
I used it till my grandson broke it.
Oh. I'll have to get
The little parasite.
somebody,
That thing hits the floor. I have a heart attack. Joe Bornstein will be calling her.
Have you called me?
I'm thinking of being shot.
Thank you.
They knew that. Premature. Wednesday.
I'd like to make a motion to utilize $15,000 out of the capital improvement grounds and maintenance for the purchase of the playground. Discussion. Second. All in favor? Thank you. Yeah.
That's all I said.
Glad it's okay for us. Cognitive skills.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Tonight is department heads. First one, Miss Boyle.
Right, tax bills are posted on the website. They will be in the mail. You should probably be receiving them next week sometime. But you can also go onto our website to online payments and manage and pay your bill there. I want to mention again the subscribe button. If you go on our website, hit subscribe, you would have already known this. Because we say that every time we update something on the website, everyone gets an alert. So please subscribe. Transfer station stickers, I want to mention again that everyone can do transfer station stickers. So please come in and see us and get your new sticker. And that's all I really have.
So there's a survey on the website and on our Facebook page asking the taxpayers' opinions of whether we should replace the open town meeting with a referendum vote for all warrant articles. I also have some survey forms over here if you guys could participate in that. But the survey is open until August 25th.
Can I just say something about that? We wouldn't be replacing the town meeting. We would still have town meeting, we would just vote at a separate time, so it wouldn't be like no town meeting.
I don't follow what you're stating.
There would still be, from everything I've read about the law, we still have to have a town meeting.
The town meeting would be replaced. Currently, what we do is called a bifurcated meeting. It's 2 days. The meeting starts Tuesday, 8 a.m. when the polls open for the regularly scheduled election portion of the town meeting. Town meeting continues into Wednesday when we go next door and we have an open vote on the remainder of the warrant. With the referendum, that is done away with. It's a singular vote on Tuesday. If we were to do this, it would go on a Tuesday, you would essentially get 2 ballots. One would be for the elected positions, and the boards and committees, things of that nature on that ballot. And then you would have your second ballot that would contain all of your warrant articles. So, I guess in semantics, it's a town meeting, but it's just a referendum.
So no meeting before informational or whatever you want to call it, to go over the ballots to inform everybody of what's on there?
Okay, there is no statutory requirement for an informational meeting. the only requirement we have is for a public hearing. So we have a public hearing, and I have to do that, we have to do that for every ballot, that we do outside of the election. That's only different subdivisions. So just all we have to do is have a public hearing on, here's the warrant, there you go, folks.
And it would give people time to discuss it and hear different opinions then, right?
Yeah, they can speak to that, yes, ma'am. Right now, I have asked for we actually had a workshop yesterday on this very topic. We've already reached out to the town's attorney. We have a draft memo from them. But my question, the legal question that I have is amendment. If we have a public hearing and one person says that they want to make an amendment to an article that's proposed,
Yeah.
how do we do that? But if there's 50 people that say we want to make an amendment, amend this article for whatever reason, and this is granted it, what if, but I have to account for it. I'm going to ask the legal question. Essentially, I'm waiting on that answer on that. If we have a public hearing and there's a huge outcry that the taxpayers want an article changed, we have to have another public hearing because the document will change that. So I
don't know, if we would vote on it, yes or no, and then if there was an outcry after the vote, somebody would have to come and petition the town to change it.
But there is no vote at a public hearing.
No, but when we vote, to do the referendum voting,
Correct.
if the vote is no or whatever, people are upset about it, then we would have to, somebody would petition the town to.
It would require a
reconsider.
petition, correct. Yes, it would require a petition. Correct. Yes.
Would this be for the 2026 fiscal year or the 2027? Budget starts the 25th with what we're doing the election, the appointing,
Yeah.
the vote on who's chair and all that. We're gonna have a lot to do because if we're gonna do a referendum, that budget committee has to be done by February.
Try January.
Yeah.
Right, and then are we gonna meet every week?
This is why, one taxpayer brought forth this. And we're happy to do the research, and I'm more than happy to put it out as a November 4th ballot question. Early on. The poll is to get an idea on if the taxpayers truly want it. Or kind of a sense of, majority say, we'd like the referendum, great. And we'll put everything together, and it'll go to a referendum for the taxpayers to vote on. And that sets the pace right there. Rough timeline. Absentee ballots have to be available 30 days prior to the vote. So you're May, figure the first week of May. Because off the top of my head, I do not know the date of next year's. I think it's June 9th, honestly. It should be a Tuesday. So back that up 30 days, and you're looking the first week of May. That absentee ballots have to be available to be picked up by taxpayers. Back that up 10 more days, we have to have a public hearing. If the taxpayers are adamant that they want an informational meeting to try to hash the articles, well, then you need to back up another 15 days from that. Well, you're already into the end of March. We have to have time to create the ballot and vote. And we still have to do the book, because it was my understanding that the taxpayers, with this referendum vote, they wouldn't get the book like they're getting it now. We have statutory requirements of things that we have to put in that book, like the delinquent taxes, the audit results, there's some other things, town clerk report, treasurer's report. That's all they're gonna get, is a statutory requirement.
Why? Why can't you put in the other stuff? Just because you're not required to do it, why can't it all be in there?
What's the purpose?
Inform the voters?
But I don't understand, ma'am. You're not getting a ballot that has the tables so that they can do their comparison. You're not gonna get that on a ballot. We're already looking at a 5-page ballot for the warrant articles. Now you times that by 400. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
that's the
400.
ballot I'm talking about, the informational book that comes out.
I understand, but the taxpayers with a referendum vote, why would we produce the?
Why wouldn't you?
Why would we?
That whole book that we put out, whether it's an obligation or not, is to inform the taxpayers so that they can make decisions before they go to the ballot. Or
So they
before
would,
we
they
go to
would,
town meeting.
so they would get that at the public hearing. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so,
Or no, they get it before, I mean, we
Well,
don't get
we
it
do
at town
that.
meeting.
so I'm gonna have 9 days to produce that.
No, well, you have the 30 days between the absentee and the actual voting, so it
No,
has to
ma'am.
be.
Absolutely not. If I have a document that is available for people to come in and ballot vote in person, I have to have that same document for the absentee ballot people's review prior to. I have to. I can't segregate.
Is there a reason why you can't have that same book available?
Oh, I got no problem with it.
No.
But we're gonna put up pricing on this. Because now, with a referendum vote, and this is what we're working on. We had a workshop on this yesterday.
Yeah, then I wish I had been informed.
It was posted 2 weeks ago. We set the date. We do the booklet, the current, your current book. It takes 9 days to print. We have to allow 9 days for them to print them off so we can go. So then you're already first week of April. So now back that up 10 days for just the printing. So you're into March. Budget committee has to be done, and the last week of January has to have everything wrapped up. And we have to have 2 to 3 weeks minimum for us to create the articles and try to guesstimate on the budgeting. Because as it stands now, January is our 6-month mark for our fiscal year. So we can go through and see, all right, we're 54% in this line item, we're 70% in this line item. So we can kind of guesstimate what we need to account for. So that starts, well, if anything catastrophic happens, or one of the points that was made is we put the booklet out, and the argument could be, well, why has this got so much fluff to it? Why did this go up so much? Well, we have to guesstimate what it's going to cost us. Because like January, the health insurance, the employee health insurance, they're pretty good about letting us know mid-January, end of January, what the percentage would be as an increase, and usually it's 10 to 11% average. But others aren't. We don't find that out until April, May, and June, if they're doing increases. So we have to guesstimate on these. So if we put it out there, that's still 2 to 3 weeks. So this process is essentially being truncated for this referendum, vice what we're normally used to. Now, agreed, there are growing pains and learning curves that are going to have to come with this, because this town has never done it, ever. So it's not like we're just reverting back to the old way what was happening. I do have concerns about it. sure the taxpayers understand this point. There is going to be an increase in cost. We have typically, what, 6 ballot clerks for normal election. Well, that's on a 2-page ballot. Now we're gonna have a 2-page ballot plus a 5-page ballot. All that has to be counted. So we have to, as you stated, we want that booklet. That has a standard cost. Then we have to increase our ballot clerk, which we didn't do this year.
Yeah,
So we're gonna be in a negative as far as that is concerned. So just the balloting, printing the ballots, I would 25 articles, but those articles are gonna be just raise and appropriate X amount of dollars for whatever purpose. Or our standard ones that we have to put in every year for like, allowing us to, the board to accept, donations and grants. So 25, well, that's 5 pages. So there's gonna be a cost increase in what it's gonna happen. Twice what we're paying now. Yes, ma'am.
Got concerns about, talked about a public hearing so many days prior to the
The vote.
referendum. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, the public hearing would happen within the 10 days from when the absentee ballots are available. So I have a 10-day window to do and it's required. I have to do a
Right, no, I
public
know
hearing.
that. Prior to the public hearing,
Mhm.
is the town gonna have an informational meeting? And I ask this question
Yep.
because you're gonna have people that come to the informational meeting that won't come to the public hearing. There's always that amount of people who don't attend. And what's the guarantee that we're gonna have these people vote absentee? We don't know, right?
Well, it's not just about the absentee, it's about
I mean, the referendum vote.
300 more people probably voting than it does at town meeting.
That's if they do. I mean, we don't know. There's no guarantee. Not everybody votes on voting day. You tell them about absentees and they still don't do it.
If the average is 300 people,
I don't know.
What's the average?
I don't know what it is. I saw the last couple years was 300 plus.
For regular vote, for election vote, yeah. I would say close. Yeah.
But no matter what, people are gonna complain.
Yeah,
I mean, people are complainers.
folks, I want to make this perfectly clear, okay? Taxpayer came forth, asked for us to look into it.
No, I know.
I have no problems doing that. We'll put the information forth. The ladies were kind enough after the workshop to put the poll out today so that we could get more of a sense of, is this just a single taxpayer or 10 taxpayers that say that they want a referendum vote or not? If we'll know with the poll, it's basically just a straw poll. Do we spend the time putting this together or not? Because if it's a very small portion of people that say, yes, we're in favor of a referendum, twice or more of a majority that says, no, we do not, then we have no reason to put it on the ballot. We're happy to do the legwork, got no problem with that. There will be an informational for the ballot, the November 4th ballot, because we have multiple articles that are going to be on there. And the referendum question may be one of them. And on the poll, we'll see where we get.
And if that doesn't pass, I should call it pass or not pass, the people have a right to do a petition
Correct.
with enough signatures
Correct.
to warrant to be on the ballot, to be the referendum.
Correct.
Vote referendum.
Yes, yes. The taxpayers, anybody can bring forth. What I would ask, any petition, anybody wants to do a petition, do the verbiage, give it to us, let us get it to legal,
so that it will pass legal muster, okay? We're not gonna alter it. I don't care what the petition is. In the past, we've run into petitions that were brought in and they had all the signatures and the verbiage was unconstitutional or illegal the way they put it. Had they just changed a little bit of the verbiage, it would have been perfectly acceptable and would have been put out to the taxpayers. So please, I implore you, if anybody wants to do a petition, give us the verbiage that you want at the top of that petition. We will route it and give you exactly what the attorney states so that you know, and if, that way there's no waste of time. There's nothing worse than thinking that you're doing something good and then you bring it in and you get kicked in the teeth because it's illegal. It just doesn't pass legal muster. Bring it into us. We'll make sure it gets to the town's attorney for a legal. Yes.
What's the time frame for that petition to be to you?
Okay, petition, if you bring in a petition and you want the verbiage checked, I would say give us 7 to 10 days for a legal review to get it back, because I don't know the schedule of the attorneys, okay? So 7 to 10 days, I feel pretty safe in saying that they would be able to do a review and get it back to us, so that we can get back to the people. When you get all your signatures that are required, and a petition requires a percentage of the last gubernatorial vote. I think it's 172. Once you get all the signatures, at that point it gets turned into the town clerk. The town clerk verifies all signatures on there. If they are valid, then it gets turned to the select board. At that point, I am going to send it to legal review, make sure, get the stamp of approval on it, bring it back, we'll make the motion at the select board and move forward.
So does this, we have till August 25th to fill this out?
The poll, yes ma'am. Yep. That'll give us about 2.5, almost 3 weeks to get our ducks in a line for a PowerPoint presentation so we can do an informational. Now the informational is going to be in totality. We're going to take all of the articles, and that's what the informational meeting is going to be. Well, again, if the poll comes back and there's leaning support for the referendum, that's not going to be one. I still have to do the $16,000 article for the public safety building, the change to the SDR, the truck, hope taxpayers, I have something for November for that. The truck, additional public works employee, so the ladies are working very diligently for a
So if this is a no, if people vote no on this monthly survey thing, Tracy has a right to submit some verbiage. You get it approved by the attorney
Yep, for a petition,
for
correct?
a petition.
100%. Any taxpayer has that right. Yes.
So now, as of September, August 25th, if we know what the answer is, she knows what she has to do.
Correct. I want to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. I'm not stating that we're saying no
No, I know
to the
that.
referendum.
I know that.
Not at all. This is a straw poll, if you will, so we can get kind of a feeling on, is it just a singular taxpayer that wants to see this, or is it a good majority of the taxpayers? Because there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, there's 11 of you, 12 of you here tonight. This is average. You know what I mean? So we don't have that opportunity to hear from people that don't show up.
Just a question on the budget, when currently with the warrant, the way it's set up now, when is the budget usually done for you to be able to?
First week of April.
Okay, so you're backing it up from April then to January.
The budget committee, yes,
If
Yes.
this changes over, you're targeting
Correct.
instead of having those winter months to work the budget for April, you're not
Correct.
backing it up to January.
we will have to. In order to meet our timeline so that we can,
Do
Get the information.
on the
Yep.
website.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll truncate this year. Again, there will be growing pains, learning curve. So, yep. But next year will change. You know, the budget committee will start in July and be done by early June. So that we have time to wrap everything up and get the warrant put together, the articles, pull the information. One of the things that one of my other legal questions that I asked, and I don't know if Alex is responding, is if we have an informational meeting and there's a majority that wants to say they want to amend this article, what do we do? Do we have to have a moderator at the informational meeting to say, okay, put your hands up, folks? Or what is the legal process for that? Because I don't know what it is. And I want to know what the legal has to say. If we don't have that, if we don't have the informational and allow the taxpayers to have their say, if you will, then what's that going to do to the referendum? Because, believe it or not, folks, pretty rampant false information gets run around here. Opinion, 1, assumption, 2, and 3, well, that's the way I see it. And then there's this debacle. So I am concerned of going to a referendum vote because we can't dispel if there's false information. Because now I'm going to be on a very strict line. Whereas weekly I can address things normally.
But if something's amended, that's, if the desire is to amend something at the information meeting,
Yep.
how's that work?
That's why I've asked Lee.
Okay,
That question has been
because of
asked.
the timelines that you have to do with.
You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I do.
I was expecting you to say.
I was hoping when you talk to them, what we're supposed to do, like if there's an amendment, why could, I know this is extra printing and all that, but why couldn't it be a separate article? In other words, vote on the amendment, yes or no? Given the opportunity, I guess if the amendment passed it, then you wouldn't have to vote on it.
Well, that's just it. I don't know the legal precedence of if I follow you correctly, we have 25 articles on a ballot. And at an informational meeting, it's a majority of them saying, okay, we want to amend this article. And everything's hypothetical, folks, okay? They want to drop $100,000 off or whatever. Okay, so we add that to the ballot with a yes or no. I don't know if we can do that. So that question loses a lot of people. Well, it's not that. It's you have an article that you would vote upon with an amendment that you would vote upon. In town meeting, the amendment is voted on, then the article with the amendment is voted on. So I don't know how we would do that on that. I don't know the legal ramification. So there are quite a few questions sitting at Drummond Woodson waiting to be answered, and give us some direction. So I do want to say this, it is not a statutory requirement for us to have information whatsoever. We do not have to do that. We choose to do that, so we're working for the taxpayers. But we don't have to. Public hearing, yes, we absolutely have to. If there's a change to the document, any document at a public hearing, we have to schedule another public hearing. The minimum amount of time to schedule a public hearing for that is 7 days. So, that's why, if we do the public hearing 10 days prior to May 2nd or 7th, whatever day it would be, for absentee ballots, if we're within that 10 days and there's a problem, we can't meet that 7-day requirement. So in order to, I guess, kind of err on the side of caution, back it up another week, so that the public hearing is done 15 to 18 days prior to that, and then if there is a question, then we would have that time for the 7 day, if there was a change to the document for public hearing purposes. There's a lot of, well, there's a lot of unknowns. I think that's it, there's just a lot of unknowns. I don't know, we've never done it, gone through the process of getting there, but we've been working on it since the request was made.
Even if we had two items, one original and one with the amendment, that would be so confusing. What happens if we vote, half of them vote on that, you know what I mean, it would be a mess.
So the only other thing I have to say about referendum is that taxpayers decide to go that way. If the taxpayers feel to vote no on several budget items, and they do it multiple years, statutorily, we have to pay the tax bills. There's no getting around it.
You have to what?
Statutorily, we have to pay the town's bills. If the town gets a invoice for a service or anything that is required, we have to pay. So the risk is there that if the ballot questions are no, comes the third year of no, we could be in some financial strife as far as paying those bills. Because what happens, where we have to pay them, if it's an overage, then we have to take it out of capital reserve. What we're supposed to do is raise and appropriate that amount that we removed and put that back into capital reserve. And we have to raise and appropriate the money to cover that bill. Well, in a referendum, there's no discussion, there's no explanation. So the taxpayers, year two, say, nope, now our capital reserve could be in trouble.
Is that like the truck thing?
No, ma'am, that's anything, any budgetary request.
No, but when the town voted no against the truck thing, if they had said yes,
I guess I don't follow your
yeah,
question.
I don't know.
Well, I think I understand what she's saying. If they vote no on the truck, it wouldn't be an issue. But if they vote no on an operating budget, now we get problems.
Yeah, well, by second year, if the taxpayers voted no again, because voting no reverts that budgetary request to the previous year's budget. So if there's an increase in our, and I'll just use this as an example, and all numbers are hypothetical. Fixed admin, we have statutory requirement for ambulatory services. Well, they go up, try to regression evens up on that. Exponential. And again, this is not. The printer cost goes up, the paper cost goes up, all these things we have to have goes up. We put that in there and the taxpayers say no. Well, in order to continue to operate, we have to take that overage out of capital reserve. Because we have to pay the bills. The second year, if the taxpayers do that again, well, now we're in two deficits. The capital reserve deficit that we incurred the first year, then the delinquents, or the deficiency that we have the second year. So now we're, instead of, and again, folks, these are hypothetical numbers, instead of $10,000 in debt, now we're at $20,000. And it can compound the problem. So it can create problems. And I know there's a lot of what ifs. But if we don't think about the what ifs, the first thing that's going to happen is the taxpayer's going to come in here and say, well, why didn't you think of that? Tell me they will. They will. It'll be 100% 100% our fault that we didn't have a contingency or a idea or how to handle this.
Could you do that again?
Well-
Press.
Well, I mean, seriously, that's just how it's gonna come across. And folks, if we don't play devil's advocate and ask those what if questions, we're not prepared. And if we're not prepared, how do we answer? And I want to be.
Can a letter go out to all the taxpayers?
Well, that costs us very much, $1,200. So how much money do we want to spend?
That's why we need people to subscribe. Subscribe. That's how we get the information.
Any further questions on the referendum? ACO, what you got?
Had 3 dogs at large. One went to the shelter, nobody's claimed it yet, so this will be the 3rd dump dog in Brownfield. This week just dumped here.
No tag.
No tag, no microchip, no nothing. So that'd be the 3rd dog, so. And frogs is a joke.
Oh, there's a good one on the Chiefs report. You read it?
Good
Oh, yeah,
one?
it's right up there with yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Fire chief will not be here this evening. There was a tree on a power line down on the end of Pond Road in 113, so he's taking care of that. So his report, 1 odor investigation. Somebody's missing some pits there. 13 medical calls, 1 mutual aid to Keyser Falls, 1 mutual aid to Center Conway, 2 crash notifications, 1 citizen assist dogs locked in a vehicle, 1 structure fire, 8 people attended second training on pump operations and dry hydrants. 3 people attended the annual training mandated by Basic Life Support. 2 new people and 1 to catch up. Radio programming has been complete with a upgrade from the digital. Checked on all hydrants that are in ponds and rivers. 2 are unusable. Hose testing in Freiburg on Friday, August 15th. Investigating a complaint of people camping in front of a dry hydrant on River Bend. Had a great time at Brownfield days. Fire danger is high. Please be careful with campfires. Submitted by the chief. Health officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of quick notes on the safety committee. At the last meeting, we voted to change from our monthly meeting schedule to a quarterly. So I'll be working very soon with administration to pick a date for the one in September. We'll pick it up from there. At the last inspection that we had here for the offices and the employee staff, there was talk of where are the OSHA 300 forms, and everybody was, Patty has located them. We were told we didn't have to keep much more than 5 years worth, and I guess there was a few more than that. So she has cleaned that out, and we have a book where we know where they are, so if we ever get asked to get, someone can say, they're right in that book, they're 5 years worth. So, there's an interest, it doesn't have necessarily anything to do with health or safety, but I want to talk just for a minute about the event that we had here on Saturday, the Brownfield Days. Now, I'm not at all sure how many years we've been doing that. I'm going to guess 12 to 14, whatever. I think I missed the first year, but since then, every single year that we've had the event here, I have asked and gotten someone from Maine to come here to Brownfield, help set up the table, give out brochures, talk to people about recycling, etc., etc. Saturday young lady, Jasmine from Maine, came and attended and answered questions. It was very good. And 2 or 3 times during the day, she would say, "I'm going to take a walk," and she would get up, disappear, come back. So, okay, she's intended to take a walk. The event is over now. Historically, again, just so everybody understands, each year, whether it's a day or a week, but within usually that time frame, either I institute a phone call to Maine to thank them for their help and tell them how good their employee handled things, or they call me and ask, how did he or she do? Were they able to make eye contact with the people, all that kind of stuff. So, Monday afternoon, phone rings. My wife says, "Yeah, it's for you. It's a woman from Maine." I said, "Hello." It's a woman named B. She's in charge of all the educational stuff there. So I'm waiting to hear, "So Bill, how did Jasmine do?" She says, "Bill, what is this cow chip bingo thing?" I said, "What?" She said, "That's all Jasmine's been talking about. She's telling everybody in the building all about this cow was laying on the ground and people were going to bet on it. It was going to go poop in the bushes and that." I said, "Oh my God." So I think next year I'm going to call them and say, "How many bets do you want to put on the cow chip bingo?" Because it's quite, Maine is all in live about cow chip bingo. Thank you.
These were all bringing something to the table.
Okay, code enforcement officer, is that a hospice visit? Public works director, I don't know. Anybody heard? Nope. Rec director? Nope. Miss Egan, is she present for the school board? Okay. Budget committee.
We have a meeting on the 25th, which is a Monday. It's coming right up, and we'll get right to work. Whoever's chair and secretary, we're gonna get right to work.
We already know who that's going to be.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we do. We already know.
I don't know. We've got some work.
Don't worry, I'll make the motions.
I'm sure you will.
I got you, lady.
But it's gonna be a good meeting.
Public safety building.
We had a second meeting with the construction company last week to go a little more in depth to the proposal that they submitted. There's good questions back and forth. We have a workshop with the select board next week on the 21st to go over all of the proposals we've gotten and talk about next steps to hiring one, to get some plans started and going.
Yeah, Dickie had mentioned about the Fed's asking about an engineer question. So that would be handled when we make selection, architect, engineer type setup. So I think I'm pretty sure he's got the answer to that, but if you follow up, just to make sure. Colin's office, it was one piece of paper that he had left for the release of funds. So,
Oh, yeah, I think that was the, if it's one I'm thinking of, it's call it a preliminary budget,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
itemized,
Yeah.
basically, that was kind of it.
So
We don't really have one yet, we haven't hired an architect yet.
Right, so we would just utilize the proposed, whichever firm that we decide on, we would use those, that would suffice, correct?
Yes, I believe so. I'm pretty sure because it can get changed. The feds just want something
Right.
to kind of have some idea. So I believe the idea/plan will be that in the proposal we've gotten, some have submitted some kind of budgetary things as to what they think it's going to be.
Right.
And we would probably go with whoever we hire and take their rough
And just
guesstimate budget,
and be able to submit it.
plug those numbers in, send that to the feds, because that can get changed. I mean, we know it's gonna change, the feds know it's gonna change. It's just kind of, they want a placeholder basically, to put their sheet in their file as a placeholder, and then as things change, we just send them a new one with an update of whatever it is, you know, because whatever, concrete spikes and wood drops or something, then it changes.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, yeah,
Right. Okay, yeah.
do know.
Thank you. Comp plan? Playground.
We are waiting patiently for the new arrival of the play structures that will be here sometime in mid-September. There is now name the park and playground out there. Please come in to the office and submit your name suggestions for the new park. We will vote on the names and have the one picked unveiled when we open the new playground. We are working on a maintenance policy with the select board and stuff, and the checklist that should be done to make sure that the new playgrounds are inspected and kept up year-round. We are still working on that and hope to have that in place when we open up the new playground. That's all I got on the playground.
So everyone knows, we're having a hard time. The playground inspector class happens, what, every 3 years? Something like that?
Yes.
So it just happened last year. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to find something so that we have that kind of certification, so that when people go out there, they know what they're looking at, so that we can maintain the new playground. So if we can find something, we've already identified people that would be willing to take any class or course that we can find, so that we can make sure that that's being maintained. And we are creating a policy so that it doesn't happen this time what happened last time, where it was turned over to a committee, I believe in '93 or whatever, and kind of fell to the wayside. We're gonna have an actual budgetary line item that we will raise and appropriate monies for, so that it's maintained from here on. So,
And one last thing, we'll probably be meeting like the last week in August. We'll start our meetings up again, so we can start prepping the playground when we know when they're coming, so everything is ready for them. So when they move in, they know where they're dropping us.
okay, I did have a conversation with Cliff, for pulling the, swing set, monkey bars and those 2 poles.
Yeah.
Tethered along, and I don't know if the other one is a top thing or not. But I did talk to Cliff about that, so, Mr. Walker will be in contact with him for the monkey bars. But they're concrete in, so I have to probably bring them back when I pick them up, and then also with the swing set.
Okay.
But yeah, Cliff knows. Yes.
Would it be permissible to ask one of the folks that has, I don't care if it's even recent, but has passed this required class that they offer, to come here and do a class for the folks that are, well, there's the answer, I guess.
Good.
Well, we do have a person in town. He is a certified playground inspector. He works for Story and inspects all their playground stuff up there.
Where is it?
So
Medivere?
He's come to the.
he's come to a couple of meetings.
Oh, he was the older fellow that was set at the end of the table. He brought his grandson over to that.
Right.
Oh.
But he is a
Yeah.
certified inspector because he inspects all the Storylands rides and stuff and keeps them updated.
Would the committee reach out to him, see if he'd have a conversation about possibly doing some training? We'll pay him to do training.
I'll mention it to Michelle and have her reach out.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Because if we can go that route, yeah.
He bought the double kettle.
Huh?
The Maine certification
No,
versus New Hampshire.
I would just look at it as, for
Training.
right now,
Information
where the
training.
Maine, the Maine certification, we're not gonna be able to touch it until 27, because it happened in 24. So if we can get something now, at least, you know, and then when 27, if we can get people to take that course, get a Maine certification, we're good to go.
It's when you get the work done where you can't put a curve.
Yeah, I'll talk to Michelle and her reach out to them.
Oh,
Thanks.
cool, thank you.
Yep.
Health and safety. Where had I heard from you? Community resilience. I don't think we're doing anything.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's any change. since-
No, we're waiting on that form to come back.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Communications.
Our next meeting is Thursday, 14th, at 4 o'clock. We're looking into a possible text option as well for the subscribe.
It's in your,
Was that the communication,
what was that right there?
Civics Plus?
Civics Plus, yeah, I got an estimate to see what it would cost to
Yep.
have the text option in, it's $550 annually. And that would, allow us to text like road closures, emergencies, or anything else that we put on the website, town hall closed, because
So they would
of
go to
snow.
the town site, sign up for this,
Sign up for the
give the
subscription,
number,
and they
and-
put their number in, so they would get, they would have the option, do you want to email or do you want to text?
right?
And it would get text to their phone if that's the case.
That's pretty cool.
Problem is, we only got 21 people that have actually subscribed as of today. So, I wouldn't want to spend $550 on a text option if nobody's gonna do it.
How long is this good for? 1 year? Yeah, probably
Yeah.
1 year. We got enough in the licensing line, in the admin budget?
I'd have to take a look at that, but, I'm sure we could enable that, yeah, because for this year, they prorated it for $99. From the year, yeah.
$97.60. Well, yeah, 97.69. The next short can be
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I think it's a good idea.
Is that it?
$97 for $100.
Yeah, it's gonna take time for everybody to get on board with that, to be rapid.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe that, then people will subscribe, because maybe people are like, well, I don't check my emails.
No, but they're gonna look at that.
Yeah, and then if we invest the $97 and come December, at the end of December, and nobody signed up, we can say, yeah, heck with this, so.
I'll make a motion that we do the Civics Plus for $97.69 as an admin budget, for the remainder of 2025. And we'll revisit in the second week of January. Whether this is something that works. Good?
Yeah.
All in favor? Thank you. Truck purchase.
All right, the last meeting, we took a vote and authorized, the town to go ahead and buy, or no, authorized the town to go ahead and put it on the ballot to purchase a truck. We also broke down stuff, so when we explain it to people at town meeting or the open meeting, it'll be more specific. And working with Lynn, I'm trying to break it down even more, so we have it for a PowerPoint when you do the informational meetings, in case you have information the truck committee will be there to help offset or answer the questions that are coming up. But what I gave to you guys tonight is a breakdown, so if you see anything else that we need to change, please let me know and we'll make it happen. But we broke it down to what the truck payments, down payment, and what the truck payment would be. We broke down what the total truck monthly expenses would be for a year broke it down by a month. And then we also broke down the additional public works person that would be needed to help offset driving the truck and working with public works. So I've got it all broke down. If you guys see something that needs to change, please let me know and we will take care of it.
Those were the numbers off the sheet, original numbers, so yes, I did the numbers. That is per, health insurance, that's per week. Mhm. Yep.
PowerPoint?
Mhm. Oh, yeah, yep. Mhm. So you can see it. Mhm. Yep.
I will be working with PowerPoint with Deb Merrill. She's going to help get it set up. And I will keep Patty informed on what we're doing too, so she can keep you guys updated.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Town guard.
Tomorrow's kind of the meet and greet, but because we haven't got together yet. Wouldn't it be nice to have some idea of dimensions that you're looking?
Dimensions?
Well,
What's the size of Dunn Park?
Well, that's just it. If, right here, but we have more out there. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, dimension, I mean, that's kind of an open question there because how far you want to go?
okay, that's my point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is the committee looking like they're gonna have, a 30-acre field? Or is it more that they're thinking they wanna have,
Thinking farming, no.
Yeah,
well, like 10 raised beds? You
we
know what I
haven't
mean?
even met these people, so.
Well, that's, so I would have the first meeting and get kind of a consensus of what the committee thinks. And we can always come down here. I mean, we have, Dunn Memorial Park essentially goes down this side of the building and wraps around that and encompasses, I believe, by the tax map, drawing that we have. The wooded area that has the barbecue grills, it had the wooden playground, and it also encompasses the tennis courts. But it does not go on that side over there. It's kind of concentric here in almost like an L shape.
Can you give me a little background on this Dunn Memorial Park? Because I truly don't know the first time I heard even the name was from you.
Wasn't here.
Nothing.
Wasn't here. I couldn't answer when it was turned over to the town as information. I believe the map that we have was dated 1995. This building was being accounted for in that drawing. This was done in 2098. This building here.
Probably,
It was added onto the map, if you will. It's basically laid out like a tax map. It doesn't have our absolute border measurements or anything like that. So that's why we agreed to have a list model and survey all of this,
Just to get it.
just to make sure where our boundaries are. And because if we, the garden committee and the town says, hey, line up 12 raised beds, and they're out here, and then 5 years down the road, somebody buys that piece of property next door, and we've got 3 raised beds halfway on their property. That's going to present a problem. And we also want to make sure that, because the Dunn Memorial Park has requirements that we have to maintain as right here.
Where they took that photograph.
Except for the park, the tennis court, the ball field, soccer.
Is that the park over there now? It's like, supposed to be used for recreation. No, there's two lots now there. That's family store. And it's still lots. Okay. Consolidated communications contract. This is for the,
That's for the fiber.
that's for the fire. And
And
we're
that
good
will be-
cost.
Yes, and that will be for the town hall and for the rec department and having 1 gig, whatever that is. It's really fast.
Alright, so, and we've, it's probably a little over the money before,
Yes, it was,
like $90 a month more than we're paying.
right, yes, and it wasn't feasible to do the other buildings because it increased their cost much more because they were only getting 4. However, we did upgrade Public Works, last week. They came down and upgraded that to 30, whatever that was. No, 15, we only got 15. They were at 4 and now they got 15. But that's because the cameras were drawing everything down over there. So now he has enough use.
Can you contact these guys and ask them, about the new public safety building with the same, just a rough price?
Yep.
I make a motion that we go to fire for this contract with Consolidated. But we already have anyway, we just have it in hand. Second. Okay? You wanna do this?
Thank you.
Comprehensive Plan Committee. In keeping with the comprehensive plan and the completion of its strategies, requests to mount a Maine best management practices display board on a wall at the town hall and display the manuals, best management practices for forestry, protecting Maine's water quality, and best management practices for Maine agriculture nearby the display. It's on page 41, strategies from July 26th to 23. The display was formerly placed in the AC unit meeting room, has been set aside since the AC has been in use. Mr. McLean is taking his redboard home and plans to make a frame to, where we can make room. Authorized list for MMA contact, dated August 12th, 2025. Selectmen, myself, Mr. Day, Mr. Fortier, Town Clerk, Ms. Drain, Tax Collector, Mr. Boyle, Deputy Town Clerk, Ms. Day, CEO, Mr. Bain, Assessor, Mr. Conzel, Administrative Assistant, Ms. Drain, Health Officer, Mr. Flynn, Planning Board Chair, Ms. Fry, Planning Board Secretary, Mr. Thomas, Budget Committee Chair, Ms. Tate, Comp Plan Implementation Committee Chair, Mr. Nutting, Planning Board and various committees as appointed, Mr. Egan, Public Works Director, Cliff Cousins, Rec Director, Willie Tracy, and Fire Chief, Mr. Paul. Make a motion to approve this and have it sent to MMA. in favor? See what other requests we're gonna take. The phone board's still doing, what's the, is that, all of his own, so,
No, no, that's all right.
it's, the meeting next month, I guess the update on this, so the last, my last meeting. If you hear anything from this meeting, keep the information out. Yes. We have two communication forms, compliment, thank you for taking action, keep people safe at the intersection, Haleytown Road and Hampshire Road. Public Works for handling that. And we had a communication in regards to Portland Lane. We need to have a discussion with the.
He said they didn't recall this over.
Oh, perfect. So yes, all this we done, I do not see a need to pave it. Perfect, so that's good.
You say next week?
Firefighter job description, I had it all. To accept that. We're gonna reach out to Mike next week and talk about that admin fee.
I did, I just haven't heard back from him.
All right, upcoming events, 7 p.m. tonight is a planning board workshop. Tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., 295 Hampshire Road is the town garden committee. Thursday, 4 p.m., communication committee, I think that's here, Alice?
Yes.
Okay. And Monday, 5 p.m., select board workshop, playground development, long-term sustainability, right here in this room. Open to the public. Yes.
Truck committee meeting tomorrow at 5:30, okay. For a quick meeting, just to go over this stuff and, just keep everybody updated, so we know what's going on for the open meetings.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I unfortunately would like to express my disappointment in how the firefighter applications were handled. The process that went with that. Hopefully for another endeavor like that, it's a more streamlined process, I guess I'll say.
Okay, so what was the problem?
Timelines and timeframes and deadlines that were semi-enforced and then strictly enforced, in addition to packets picked up that were not complete, and then had to come back to get more paperwork to go through. That some people knew about and some people didn't know it was part of the packet, is what I'm hearing from
Okay, I'll address the timeline. 30 days wasn't enough time. And when we spoke to the fire chief, it was, well, you know, okay, so we extended it 2 weeks. In speaking with the fire chief, he set the date of the 11th as the deadline. That was not set by the select board. As far as the application process, we have to have that information. The vote for the fire department, the municipal fire department ordinance happened April 1st. So that was essentially April, May, June, 3 months of prep. The personnel files were created sitting on Ms. Strange's desk. And the instruction was given, hey, have the firefighters come in, get their packet, fill it out, turn it in. I don't know why that took in excess of 30 days. I don't know. I wasn't one that filled out an application. But I truly think that 30 days is more than enough time to fill out an employment application, a I-9, W-2, and the job description, and review the personnel policy. And the reason for the personnel policy and the job description is so that they're aware of it. Because when it comes right down to it, they are 100% town employees, just like the rest of us. So 30 days wasn't long enough. There was a 3-month lead up to that 30-day requirement to fill out that packet. So I think that was pretty generous. 30 days. So
We usually get 30 minutes to fill out an application.
I think what he may be referring to a few people, they came in right at the very beginning, and we were unaware that they were packets in Patty's office, and so we were under the assumption that they needed their job description and an application, and we gave them out. And then there were a few people that had a couple things missing in their folder that we were unaware of, and they had to come back. And I do apologize for anybody who had to come back because we didn't give them enough paperwork. That's all on me.
the good thing is it's now a municipal fire department, so we won't have the mass coming down here to do that. It'll be ones and twos.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.